Welcome to a Celona Tech Note video on using Apple iOS geofencing with Celona. Hello, I'm MJ, Solutions Architect at Celona, and your host for another iOS-specific video for connecting to a Celona private 5G LAN. In the previous video in this series, we looked at how Apple iOS devices can be automatically configured for 5G standalone, which is required for Apple iOS devices to connect to a Celona private 5G local area network. The automation precludes having to manually set the 5G standalone setting. In this video, we build on top of the 5G standalone setting with the Apple iOS Geofencing functionality. Apple iOS Geofencing allows for an Apple iOS device with two SIMs, public and private, to automatically switch between the private and public SIM for cellular data as the user physically enters or leaves defined areas of private cellular coverage, for which coordinates are detected by the GPS functionality on the Apple device. The geofencing functionality will also turn off the Celona SIM when outside the defined areas of coverage. This helps save battery by preventing unnecessary scanning for signal from a Celona radio when outside of known coverage areas. Let's look at the iOS profile that I use for this demonstration. Here, we have the 5G standalone settings from before. The Apple iOS geofencing functionality allows for an administrator to define an array of circles, each in the form of a GPS coordinate and a radius, in meters. You can define multiple circles in this manner to reflect where you have Celona signal. From our observations, the circle should be at least 50 meters. If less than that, jitter in the GPS accuracy in iOS may cause the SIM to not activate or be deactivated unexpectedly. You should walk test the boundaries of the circle for accuracy. You may also have to define multiple overlapping circles depending on the actual shape of the area to be covered. Obviously, multiple circles will need to be defined for different sites where you have Celona coverage. Let's look at an iPhone screen recording video that I made to demonstrate how iOS geofencing can automatically enable and disable a Celona SIM as we enter and leave an area. In this recording, I will speed up the video where I'm walking and slow it down when we look at the phone detail. I have defined the center of a circle of Celona coverage in the middle of a courtyard between two buildings at the Celona headquarters in Campbell, California. I have set the circle for 50 meters, which takes it up to the parking lot area west of the courtyard. Note the two cellular bar indicators in the upper right, currently showing the current primary cellular source as Celona, and the secondary cellular source as the public provider. At the edge of the 50-meter mark, we are still on the Celona private 5G LAN. At this point, iOS has just switched to the public provider as the primary cellular data source. At this point, iOS has turned off the Celona SIM. Let's start walking back to see where we reattached the Celona private 5G LAN. At this point, iOS has enabled the Celona SIM, and right away, it has switched back to the Celona 5G LAN as the primary cellular data source. In this video, we added geofencing functionality to automatically enable and disable a Celona 5G LAN SIM. Stay tuned for more Celona videos to help you get the most from your Celona 5G LAN.